Sinbad's legendary first voyage, a tale of adventure and survival. In the great city of Basra, where the Tigris River kissed the Arabian Gulf, a young merchant named Sinbad embarked on his first voyage, a quest born from both desperation and ambition. Sinbad, once the heir to a prosperous trading family, had squandered his inheritance on reckless pursuits. Now, standing at the threshold of poverty, he resolved to restore his fortune by venturing into the vast, unpredictable seas, leading him to survive a perilous ordeal at sea before washing ashore on a barren island. With the last of his wealth, Sinbad invested in fine silks, spices, and precious goods, loading them onto a ship bound for distant lands. The ship, an elegant dhow with sails that billowed like clouds, was captained by an experienced seafarer whose grizzled face told tales of countless voyages. As the ship sailed away from Basra's bustling port, Sinbad stood at the prow, gazing at the endless horizon. The salty breeze carried with it a sense of liberation, but also foreboding. Days turned into weeks as the crew navigated the turquoise expanse of the Arabian Sea, guided by the stars and the whispers of the wind. One day, as dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson, a cry rang out from the crow's nest. "Land ho!" The sailors erupted into cheers, and Sinbad's heart raced with excitement. Before them lay an island of remarkable beauty, its shores fringed with white sand and dense with verdant trees heavy with fruit. It seemed a paradise untouched by human hands. The crew quickly dropped anchor, and small boats ferried them to the shore. Sinbad wandered through the island, marveling at its splendor. The air was thick with the fragrance of blossoms, and birds of brilliant colors flitted through the canopy. The sailors set to work gathering fruit, filling barrels with fresh water, and lighting fires for cooking. As they made merry, Sinbad noticed something peculiar. The ground beneath his feet seemed oddly warm, and faint tremors rippled through the earth. He dismissed it as his imagination, for the sea had a way of playing tricks on the senses. Sinbad, a sailor called, holding up a handful of ripe, golden figs. "Come and feast! Even the gods would envy this bounty." Sinbad joined the revelry, yet unease lingered in his heart. He glanced back at the ship and saw the captain, who had remained aboard, frantically gesturing and shouting something inaudible over the distance. The island paradise he discovers turns out to be a sleeping whale, leading him to survive a perilous ordeal at sea before washing ashore on a barren island. The first sign of danger came as a low, resonant groan, like the sound of a mountain shifting in its sleep. The ground trembled violently, and suddenly, the island began to rise. Trees toppled, the fires were extinguished, and the sailors screamed in terror. "To the ship!" Sinbad shouted, though the words felt futile amidst the chaos. The truth was revealed. The island was no island at all. It was the back of a colossal whale that had been sleeping on the surface of the sea. Disturbed by the fires and noise, the creature now woke, its massive bulk rising above the waves. Sinbad, the young merchant, clings to a piece of driftwood, his face a mix of fear and determination as he watches the whale rise. Its gargantuan tail arced into the sky like a great crescent moon, then crashed into the water, sending waves surging toward the ship. Boats capsized, sailors were flung into the sea, and the whale's movements turned the once serene waters into a churning maelstrom. Sinbad found himself adrift, clinging to a piece of debris as the whale vanished into the depths. Around him, the sea was littered with broken wood and cries of despair. The ship, though battered, managed to remain afloat, and a few survivors clambered aboard. But Sinbad was not among them. The currents pulled him away, farther and farther from the ship until it was but a speck on the horizon. Alone, he drifted under the blazing sun, with only the heavens as his witness. After days of floating aimlessly, Sinbad washed ashore on another island, this one much smaller and barren. Weak and parched, he crawled onto the sand, collapsing beneath the shade of a lone tree. For a time, he lay still, the sound of waves lapping at the shore his only companion. When he finally stirred, he began to explore. Though the island lacked the lush bounty of the Whale Island, it provided him with enough to survive: a few coconut trees, a stream of fresh water, and a cave that offered shelter. For weeks, Sinbad lived as a castaway, his once fine clothes reduced to tatters. Yet he never lost hope. Each day, he climbed the highest hill and scanned the horizon, praying for rescue. Find out what fate holds for Sinbad in the next chapter of his incredible adventures, and don't miss this captivating retelling of Sinbad's legendary first voyage. Like, comment, and subscribe for more timeless adventures. Until next time, adventurers, may your sails be strong and your hearts be brave. See you on the next voyage.